toasted meter socket can result from several potential causes. It is important to safely identify the issue before attempting any repairs. Firstly, loose connections within the meter socket are a frequent culprit. These loose connections create resistance, and resistance generates heat. Over time, this excessive heat can damage the socket, leading to it becoming toasted or burned. Secondly, overcurrent situations can also lead to meter socket failure. This occurs when excessive current flows through the meter. Such a surge can result from a faulty appliance drawing too much power, a short circuit somewhere in the electrical system, or even a power surge originating from the utility grid. The excessive current overheats the components within the meter socket, causing damage. Thirdly, corrosion is another common cause, especially in coastal environments like Tampa, Florida. Exposure to moisture and corrosive substances like salt spray can damage the electrical contacts inside the socket. This corrosion increases resistance, leading to heat generation and eventual socket failure. Fourthly, a lightning strike can deliver a massive surge of electricity into the electrical system, overwhelming the meter socket and causing significant damage. While lightning protection devices can help, they don't always prevent damage to the meter socket in a direct or nearby strike. Fifthly, rodent damage is another potential cause. Rodents may chew on the wires or insulation within the meter socket. This exposes the conductors and creates opportunities for short circuits or ground faults, both of which can lead to overheating and damage. Sixthly, a faulty meter itself can be the problem. If the meter malfunctions internally, it might overheat and transfer that heat to the socket, eventually damaging it. Seventhly, incorrect installation can also contribute to meter socket problems. If the meter was not properly installed initially, it might place undue stress on the socket connections, leading to premature failure over time. Eighthly, old age can simply cause the components of the meter socket to deteriorate. As the socket ages, its internal components, such as the contacts and insulation, can degrade, leading to increased resistance and overheating. And lastly, a defective socket is possible. A manufacturing defect within the socket itself can make it more vulnerable to heat damage or other issues. If the socket was faulty from the start, it could fail prematurely. When diagnosing a toasted meter socket, a systematic approach is crucial. Firstly, always ensure that the power is disconnected from the meter socket before starting any inspection or repair work. Contact the power company to disconnect the service. Safety is paramount. Secondly, visually inspect the socket for signs of damage, such as burn marks, cracks, or corrosion. Pay close attention to the terminals where the wires connect. Thirdly, check the tightness of all connections. Loose connections are a common cause of overheating, so ensure that all screws and lugs are properly tightened. Use a torque wrench to tighten connections to the manufacturer's specifications. Fourthly, use a multimeter to test for voltage and continuity at the meter socket. This can help identify any open circuits or short circuits. Fifthly, inspect the wiring connected to the meter socket for any signs of damage, such as frayed insulation or corrosion. Replace any damaged wiring. Sixthly, if you suspect a faulty meter, contact the power company to have it tested or replaced. Do not attempt to repair the meter yourself. Seventhly, if you find evidence of rodent damage, take steps to prevent rodents from entering the meter socket. Seal any openings and consider using rodent repellent. Eighthly, if the meter socket is old or severely damaged, it should be replaced. When replacing a meter socket, be sure to use a socket that is rated for the appropriate voltage and amperage. Ninthly, ensure that the new meter socket is properly installed according to the manufacturer's instructions and local electrical codes. Use the correct tools and techniques to avoid damaging the socket or wiring. Tenthly, after the meter socket has been repaired or replaced, have a qualified electrician inspect the work to ensure that it is safe and compliant with electrical codes. It's important to note that working on electrical systems can be dangerous. If you are not comfortable working with electricity, it is best to hire a qualified electrician to perform the repairs. Always follow proper safety procedures and wear appropriate personal protective equipment when working with electricity. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, provides detailed guidelines for electrical installations, including meter sockets. Some relevant sections of the NEC include Article 230, which covers service entrances. This article specifies the requirements for service conductors, overcurrent protection, and grounding. Article 310 covers conductors for general wiring. This article specifies the ampacity of different types of conductors based on their size and insulation. Table 310.16 in the NEC provides ampacity ratings for conductors based on their insulation type and temperature rating. Article 408 covers switchboards and panel boards. This article specifies the requirements for overcurrent protection and grounding in panel boards. Article 250 covers grounding and bonding. This article specifies the requirements for grounding electrical systems and equipment to ensure safety. It's crucial to consult the latest edition of the NEC and any local electrical codes before performing any electrical work. These codes provide the minimum safety standards for electrical installations. When dealing with a toasted meter socket, safety should always be the top priority. If you're not a qualified electrician, it's best to leave the repairs to a professional. Remember to disconnect the power, inspect for damaged tighten connections, test for voltage and continuity, replace damaged wiring, address rodent issues, replace old or defective sockets, ensure proper installation, and have the work inspected by a qualified electrician. These steps will help ensure that the meter socket is repaired safely and correctly.